Why is autism called as a spectrum disorder?
In autism, their brains are not working like yours and mine.
In this journey, I'm sure you need a lot of money, a lot of financial help.
Every single person with autism in the world has different symptoms.
How necessary for them it is to address the depression?
In Singapore, you have a cafe for the blind. You go there, you're in complete darkness. You're given braille menus and all that. Come out, you have been in 1 hour of blindness or 2 hours of blindness. You realize what it is like to not see the world.
It's very apparent that parents, children suffering from autism, they fall prey to depression.
You just can't feel sad about something that is going against your wishes. Autism cannot be cured, but I do believe that nature,
Is there a lot of social stigma around autism for parents?
symptoms which are clinically present, you cannot say the child has autism.
Do you have an example where you can say that there is a cure in every plant for a specific disease?
I don't know, am I allowed to talk about marijuana? You are destroying the world of the parents. For every illness, there is a cure in a plant.
It's such a one of a kind of a cafe, and hats off to your dream.
So it's called the PEX Cafe, Picture Exchange Communication System. In autism, we use PEX as a tool to communicate. It is the first PEX Cafe in the world. Not many people know about it. It is called the Angelman's syndrome. Angelman syndrome is a syndrome like autism, which is extremely similar. Israel, at this point, I would like to say, is the most advanced when it comes to any medical research, and we are destroying it systematically.
Hello and welcome to the Summit podcast. I am Samit Patnaik, your host. Today, our conversation is about autism. And today, as our guest, we have in my studio Madam Gargi Bhattacharya. Madam Gargi Bhattacharya is the founder of Zain Foundation. Zain Foundation works across bringing in solutions and support system for children with autism. Well, today's episode is going to be very serious, heartwarming, solution centric, and hand holding. So sit back and relax and do watch the episode. Talking about that song from Lal Singh Chadda, and what is that song that you like?
Yes. I'm unable to tell you what it is, but once I hear it, it's that very famous song with
जो भी
Kareena.
है
Yeah.
सब तेरा तेरे हवाले कर दिया सीधा था जिस्म का हर रुआ तेरे हवाले कर दिया. A very, when I'm singing this song, I'm right away getting goosebumps. And why do you like this song?
Mm, I think just the sound of it, it's far removed from madness, and the story is about two very, very different individuals, and one's willingness to be with the other individual in spite of knowing that there is a huge presence of lack of normalcy.
So the song is very overwhelming for you.
Yeah, the sound of it mostly. I take long to understand the lyrics because I'm not very proficient in Hindi, but yeah.
सबसे सबसे प्रीशियस ख्वाहिश क्या है?
सबसे प्रेशियस ख्वाहिश ये है कि जो मैंने शुरू किया है जैन फाउंडेशन, आई वांट टू एस्टैब्लिश इट. It is such a necessity for the society that we have a complete holistic residential place for adults with autism or who have neurodiversity, high functioning or low functioning. They need assistance all their lives. And for parents like me who are bringing up children like that, हमारे core concern यही है कि after us who will take care of them. So a place like that. ईस्टर्न इंडिया में नहीं है, हैदराबाद में है, बट इट्स नॉट अ हैप्पी प्लेस. ये चीज़ आई शुड डू in my life. It's a very lonely walk, Samit. There is verbal support, but there is no physical presence of somebody who will come and tell you, hold my hand, and here we are.
So can you? There are a lot of people who are listening to us, listening to you for the first time. For them to know you, and for them to understand Zain Foundation, uh, can you tell us about Zain Foundation, as in how you started, why you started?
So, this question I get asked very often. I'm a little weary that it should not bring about feelings of, sympathy or anything like that. But it's an interesting story, and very frankly, it is a story which will help the foundation market itself. It's a true story. So, our older son was named Zen, and Zen passed away in 2014. तेरा ब्रेन कैंसर हुआ था, तो उसको सेव नहीं कर पाए. इट वाज अ वेरी अग्रेसिव काइंड ऑफ कैंसर, एंड जाते जाते जस्ट बिफोर हिज कोमा, जैन ने बोला था, दिस इज ट्रू, हाँ, ही सेड दैट यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट mama that I won't be here for long, so you have to make a home for my brother Rian. You have to make a home for Ri and his friends. Mm, so when Zen passed away, immediately in the next 6 7 days, my husband and I had formed a trust called the Zen Foundation Trust. And what we have envisaged it to be is a residential place for adults with autism, because Zen जाने के बाद um, that that natural command that comes from your body and soul to look after your own sibling, the love that you have for your brother and sister, it cannot be replicated in anybody else, no matter how intensive the training. So father and mother ke baad, very deep in my heart and mind and my husband's, we were looking at Zen to take care of him. So suddenly that support was not there, and it was a very hard truth. And so there
I
are
can
many
feel
like
it.
me. Yeah.
If I can ask you, how old was Zain?
Zen was 15.
And at the tender age of 15, he could understand that his younger brother needed a lot of support.
Yes, yes. And Zen was a very lively boy, music and drums and singing, and, the captain in his group of friends, and they used to call him daddy because he would solve everybody's problems. So he was like, all over the place. And I never associated maturity with him. And, I didn't know that his understanding went so deep. I didn't know. Hmm.
So there you started
Yeah.
Zen
Then we
Foundation.
started Zen Foundation, and yeah, while I have been at it, I realized that it's a tough thing. The first of all, you need a place, जगह चाहिए. तो जगह दूर होने से नहीं होगा, because I have an existing house, I have a child, I cannot. You have to be at a place to raise the place. तो
Correct.
हर दिन to go to a place of construction, raise it, see everything is happening. I cannot do it if it is in the outskirts of a city.
Correct.
So I need that land in the middle of the city next to a medical facility.
Correct.
तो वो शायद मुझे मिलेगा if government patronizes. If not, then I would have to buy it. From where that money will come, I don't know, but I believe it will be there, because there's only heart in this project, and thankfully, it will benefit a lot of people.
जितना मैं आपको जानता हूँ, you have a lot of heart, and I'm sure this is going to happen.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I believe it will. Yeah.
Yes, it will happen, and there's a lot of positivity, and it is coming from Zen, so it's going to happen. Uh, so what was that immediate feeling when you got to know that you have a child with autism?
So, many years ago, in 2004, very early in February, we went to Bombay because Zen that time had blood cancer. तो हम लोग बॉम्बे में शिफ्ट किया, वहाँ पे 2 साल रहे. रियान was 7 months old, and Rian was developing normally quite well. And just before coming back, Rian was about 18, 19 months. And I noticed that उसका chewing नहीं हो रहा था. और वो, he had this blank expression. And I knew about autism because I had done my master's in psychology, and though we studied very little, I knew these were indications of things not being right. So I took him to a psychologist in Bombay, and Rian को बहुत बुलाया, but वो respond नहीं किया. So he didn't look at the psychologist. The doctor said, I think he has pseudo autism and all that. So when we came back, I took Rian to my professor in Calcutta, and she said that I think he's developing autism, or he had it. It's coming up now. So then I got into a lot of research, and I knew autism is something that will stay. And as Rian was growing and he lost his speech and interaction and everything, so it dawned on me. Everybody else around me said, "वो ठीक हो जाएगा, ये करो, वो करो." There is not a place in India that I haven't gone to, not a doctor or therapist across the world that I have spoken to. Um, but I accepted it after fighting for about 2 years to get him back. But it didn't happen. So this acceptance is a very big thing. It is something that I would like to tell all the parents who have newly diagnosed children with autism. But I do believe autism cannot be cured, but I do believe that nature, for every illness and disorder there is in this world,
There
has
is
a
a
cure
solution in
in a
this book.
plant. Yeah,
Oh,
I
there's a
believe.
cure in a plant.
Yeah, for every illness there is a cure in a plant. Maybe we don't know, but yes. And there is a lot, you have to give your life to help a child recover from something like that. Yeah.
Do you have an example where you can say that there's a cure in every plant for a specific disease?
I don't know, am I allowed to talk about marijuana?
Yes, why not?
So, cannabis is something we really believe in as a family. A lot of my friends, even Zen, when he got brain cancer, we were told he will. It was so aggressive. सब डॉक्टर्स ने बताया था कि इट इज़ अ 2 month स्टोरी, उसका सर्जरी हो जाएगा, फिर भी कीमो रेडिएशन एंड ऑल दैट. Radiation doses were very abusive, so we decided not to do it. And there's a friend of mine called Adviti. She lives in Canada. She translates the Gita, and she's into a lot of reading of the Puranas and the Vedas and all that. She's a Nepali girl,
Okay.
and she is a member of a global group called Bolbhum.
Bolbham.
Bolbhum, and in Bolbhum, the people who are members of that group from all over the world, they are entertainers, they are doctors, they are teachers, they are from every walk of life. And she knew this person called Martin. Martin was a British sadhu. He
Okay.
was in the hippie trail, and Martin had an ashram in Nepal, and Martin would grow cannabis and make the medical cannabis oil, and he would treat people with diabetes and BP, the common problems. So Martin was in Nepal at that time, and Adviti said that, she was my school friend. So, friends' children are very much like your own, and she was desperate for Zen to get all right. So she's requested Martin to come to our house. Martin came and lived with us for 2 months. We had to procure a certain kind of cannabis, indica. You do get that in Koraput, and you do get that in Himachal Pradesh and different places. Martin taught us to make the oil and how to administer the oil. It's a divine thing, it's a godly thing. When you make the oil, you actually strip the plant of its psychoactive element. You use the female plant. But because the nature of the plant is one of sedation, it makes you sleepy. It makes you hallucinative also after the dose has accumulated. Martin did that. Now, to know which person will be able to tolerate how much of that cannabis oil, you have to do a trial and error method. तुम्हें कितना टॉलरेशन
जरूरत
है,
होगा.
कि हमें कितना टॉलरेशन है, इज अ genetic determination.
Okay.
Okay. And we were desperate because the cancer was very aggressive, and Zain had, become paralyzed on his left hand side, and under his tongue it had to be given. All that was happening. Now, to cut the small story short, the doctors here were also very surprised. Zain had come out of coma 10 days before he died. And there was an arterial blood gas test, ABG test, that you do where you find out if your body is alkaline or acidic. So 10 days before Zain passed away, he was alkaline, and which says he has no cancer in
No
his
cancer,
body.
yes.
But the anatomy of the brain is such, when you have cancer, when you have a tumor and the tumor melts, the dead cell mass, the edema, is many times the volume of the tumor. And the brain doesn't have a lymph system, so there is no drainage. It cannot come out like sweat or anything. So you have to give it time to dissolve. The brain is tight.
Correct.
And the pathology that he had in his cerebrum, वहाँ पे जगह था for it to dissolve slowly. His midline had shifted by 6 mm. It came back because the pathology had gone and everything had dissolved. His paralysis had gone away. The brain stem is a crazy place, Samir. It is a place where there can be no intervention in the brain stem. That is the headquarters of your body.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, you're breathing, you're swallowing, everything. You're looking, blinking. So that place you cannot even plan radiation. It's a place like that. And Korea, which is the most forward and progressive in making precision instruments for surgeries, even they don't have anything to reach your brain. So it's not a place that can be drained or anything. Koti, anywhere if you have something you can drain down, not there. So he had some pathology there as well. When that started melting, there was no place for the brain to contain that edema mass. There was no place for that. So what happened under pressure? It separated the brain and the stem, and there was brain death.
Oh,
But brain death happened to a person who had come out of cancer.
cancer.
So cannabis is that. Medical cannabis is that. And it is also used for autism in places like, say, in places which have legalized cannabis, like Colorado and all that. You know what they
Correct.
do? They, supposing we are five autistic people, we all have different symptoms. Mm, they grow a certain plant according to your symptoms. They customize it, and then they make cookies out of it, or they make oil out of it, and they give it to you, and it's helping.
It's helping. So I think a lot of states in America,
Yeah,
they have legalized
yeah,
cannabis.
yeah. Once Washington legalizes it, I think the world will slowly. I don't know.
But I'm sorry, I had to take you back. Uh,
No, it's a pleasure because it is transfer of learning. It's a pleasure. I don't feel grief. Yeah.
you're a strong woman. I feel very happy to say that I've met you, and
Likewise, Sumit. Likewise.
I'm sure a lot of parents must be coming to you who
Yes,
have
they do.
kids suffering from autism. What is the kind of dilemma that they are going through that they come and address to you?
I dread to talk to young parents who have 2-year-old, 3-year-old children recently diagnosed with autism. I first ask to see the child, and 50% of the time,
Mhm.
those children have been given the label of being autistic, but they are not.
Oh,
They have, yeah,
मतलब पहचानने में गलती हो जाती है?
yeah, yeah. मतलब diagnosis wrong भी देते हैं. Like you go to a doctor, parents are told to go to a doctor and see what is wrong with the child. I think the doctor says yes, he has autism and whatever. But you just cannot say a child has autism. Doctors, I don't think they can say a child has autism. You have to test a child. A child, a little child, might have a lot of sensory issues. Now, the sensory story is a huge story which mainstream people don't know about. Like, we have our five senses.
Mhm.
In somebody who has a sensory problem, like, I am very sensitive to loud sound. I just get started. I have
Okay.
a sensory problem. Sound okay? But as I was growing up, if I had problem with sound, with sight, not able to look at light or staring at bright light, or tactile or gustatory, you know, uh, all these five senses, I am receiving from the environment, but at a much higher level than you, or at a much lower threshold than you.
Okay.
And when I get this stimulus, it is all there. I'm understanding. I'm not able to process it properly. So that sensory highway is all there is madness there.
Madness. Okay.
So it's a field which needs a lot of research. It is happening all over the world. Even if you like you see a 2 year old just jumping around and flapping their hands and toe walking and licking everything, you just can't say the child has autism. You have to take the child to a psychologist. You have to take the child at that time to a therapist, to a team of 3 4 people who have specialized in 3 4 things, and they will make an analysis and they will tell you whether your child has autism or it is a delayed milestone. um, like अभी speech नहीं आ रहा है, speech आ सकता
आ
है,
सकता है.
or it is a sensory problem for which the child is like this, or it's the child is infested with worms or whatever, but just because of symptoms which are clinically present, you cannot say the child has autism. You are destroying the world of the parents in the first place. And you're labeling a child. You have to work with the child for a while. You have to give the child therapy for a while. After 4 5 years of intensive therapy, and if there are symptoms which are still remaining, then you know whether the child is autistic or not.
Which cities or which states are more advanced with
Bangalore is,
Bangalore?
yeah, Bangalore is, they have good therapists and they have been addressing autism in a very professional and compassionate way for many, many years. I used to travel to Bangalore and stay there for 15 days a month very early in my life with Rian.
Mhm.
And Rian was extremely hyper. I used to go to a person called mm, uh, Dr. Gopalakrishnan. He had a clinic called Chirayu in
Chirayu.
Koromangalam. Yeah. And Rian was 2 years, 4 months then. I had gone to Bangalore to do a certain treatment for him called muscle response testing. I was in a lot of research doing every therapy that might help him. So, muscle response testing is called MRT, and they, they remove allergies from your body. It's not invasive. It's an energy that they use. It was happening in Sophia Convent, and it is done by a doctor called Dr. Nambu Tripad, who's in California, from Bangalore, and she's greatly, highly successful in removing allergy responses in people. But my son was making a comeback.
So there is a ray of hope, then which means I mean there is a comeback. There can be a comeback when you
There
say.
is always a chance of wrong diagnosis. And as I said, there is a medicine in every plant. Gopalakrishnan was using plant, right? And making oils. He was using plants and fermenting them, putting them into a pressure cooker, removing the whistle, putting a pipe on the pressure cooker, and steaming his whole body. He was fermenting wheat. Okay, and so I believe when parents are told that a child has autism, the diagnosis may be right, may not be right. Instead of losing hope and instead of thinking that the world is coming crashing down, they should just become more receptive, open their eyes and ears to research, which they should do themselves, or come to people like me who have made this journey and can guide them. There has to be sensory integration therapy. There has to be speech therapy. The child has to be attacked from all sides so that the skills he has lost or the skills that are not able to surface like normal children begin to do that. So there has to be sensory integration therapy, there has to be speech therapy, there has to be play therapy, there has to be constant interaction with parents, there has to be less screen time, there has to be special education, there has to be more compassion, and there has to be a lot of do's and don'ts. Don't let the child do whatever the child is doing just because you think the child is special. sasan jo hai na, you have to practice that. For a normal child, you cannot have more than 2 biscuits now,
Hmm.
or you cannot watch TV after 8 o'clock. It's time to sleep. You have to do that for a special child as well, because
And why is that discipline important?
discipline is important because they get trained. They are not retarded. Their intelligence is there. The highway of information is all buggered up.
Okay.
Okay, and they are. It's not that they have low IQ. They are wired in their brains differently. Now, another thing that we think they are wired in their brains differently, you can't say that at the point of diagnosis. You don't know what's in the brain or how they're wired. Just can't make a general statement like that because the textbook tells you it's that. You have
Mhm.
to think out of the textbook also.
I was also researching. I found that they are blessed with some very interesting skill sets, like artistic skill sets. They're very much into art, and they're very much into other things.
So at this point, I would like to say something. To my mind, it occurs like this. Supposing I draw very well
Hmm.
and you sing very well.
Hmm.
So today, if I had autism and you had autism, you would make it to that index of being famous because he has this great skill. A normal person also has this skill of singing well. But I think it is the world's response that, oh, this guy has this tremendous skill because he's autistic. See, nobody can beat him at this. I I think it's that.
Hmm.
Uh, but the test is to know what the skill is and train the person in that skill.
So you want to say children with autism have different interesting traits where they're very good. There's the few things in which they're very good at.
They are very good, but like normal people,
Yeah.
like the normal population, we are looking more at autism because we have this sympathy that, oh, ये skill उसका बहुत अच्छा है.
Hmm.
But ये skill अच्छा हो सकता है in the mainstream population also.
Hmm.
This is just a way of, I think the world is trying to lift them up, saying that,
Hmm.
yeah, they're good at one specific skill, but I
Hmm.
don't think it is particularly true.
Which means a parent has to have that courage to take them out, has to have that discipline to take them out.
Yeah, that also, that courage comes slowly. At that point, I would want to meet parents like this and tell them, because my son is very settled in a party. He has always been with us, and my older one always took care of him. And so he had sensory issues of loud sound. You know what he would do? Suppose in the parties, and those days we used to have big, big speakers there,
Hmm.
big parties, and he really likes that pressure, okay, on his skin. So what he would do is he would cover his ears with his
Hmm.
hands and stick his bum to the speaker because the sound and the vibration would, is something that he wanted to feel, but he would do that. So he coped. He
Hmm.
designed his own pattern of,
Hmm.
coping to all the sensory inputs he was getting.
Hmm.
So you should leave the child to learn and assist, but not overprotect.
So, as a parent, how is your life now, as on today? Because the last time I met you, you said that the parents have to understand that they also have a life of their
Yeah,
own.
yeah.
They should not miss out on that, but
Yes.
also should be equally disciplined with their child.
So मैं क्या बोलूंगी, I have realized this with age,
Hmm.
that if you don't take care of your health, of your mind that is housed inside your body, if you don't have fun and enjoy yourself, if
So
you
this is going to a parent. Your
yes,
answer is going to a parent. Yeah.
right, and if you are not able to live for yourself, you will never be able to take care of your child who needs your time, who needs your touch, who needs your understanding. A child does not need a parent who is stressed, who is depressed, who is unable to help him.
Hmm.
Happiness
Hmm.
is something you have to practice. The energy that
I like
happiness,
this answer. Sometimes I feel that you have to consciously practice happiness.
yeah, yeah, till it becomes a habit. My blessing in life is I have always been like this since I was a child. And my aunts, my uncles, my friends of school, they all tell me, like, uh, I think that has been a blessing. I think the universe would have designed my life and path to be like this. And the only thing that I have not been attentive to, like most of us, I have not taken care of my self, like my body, my health. Um, I realize now that it's important to be healthy. Otherwise, you can't serve. Otherwise, you can't reach out to people. You need to be mentally agile. You need to correlate, combine reasons, and give solutions. You need to think creatively. Creativity is rated very high. You need to think out of the box. You need to think creatively because you have a situation which is not normal. And on the face of it, if you are not happy, and if you're not able to make others feel, what the hell, we have to enjoy our life no matter what the situation. What can you do? And you can only do your best, and after that, if you don't get results, I mean, you can't sit down, or the world can't come apart. You have to live your life. So and it's important to have friends. It's important to have people to chill with, and sing, and go out, and uh, be with nature and have fun. People to understand you. At the same time, do your work, spread awareness, let people open their eyes to a different world that is emerging.
Correct. So from this answer, I'm taking a cue that there are a lot of parents who fall into depression, and it is pretty apparent. And what is your advice to them, as in how to cope with depression and how to come out with it?
So, like, marriage itself is a difficult thing. Life has a lot of problems for everybody. Every marriage, when two adults start living together, there are so many adjustments to make and all that. But if there is companionship, a marriage comes through.
Mm-hmm.
And there can be difficulties of all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
There are pleasantries of all sorts as well. In the middle of this, if you have a challenging situation like bringing up a child with special needs,
Mm-hmm.
every parent is ambitious about their child. They want the best for their child. They give the best for their child. But if they are giving their best towards a child whose understanding is not complete, and who becomes a social shame for most of them, then life becomes very difficult. They don't have the courage to have another child. And the parents, all parents stay awake at night when the child is a baby. They go beyond their physical needs. Something you have not done in your life, you do for your child.
Mm-hmm.
रात रात सोते नहीं है, पहले नहीं खा के उनको खिलाते हैं, कहीं पे जाना है नहीं जाते हैं. When your child has, say, a parent teacher meeting,
Mm-hmm.
one parent will be there no matter what the meeting or what the job entails. And then when you don't get what you are giving to your child, you don't get it back, then your world falls apart and you crash. At that time, you must have somebody to hold you up, to tell you, this is the way to lead your life. Do it. And there is only this much you can do. Be involved in research, meet people who can help you, uh, and talk to parents who have traveled your path.
Correct. Can I ask you, from where did you get your mental strength? Who was there?
So that's what I'm saying. I think it's a blessing because I didn't get my mental strength from any one person. I think everybody has that strength. You have to let it surface. Sorrow, depression, these things are created.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that you're born with, and we're all born equal, and you're born with everything that is supposed to. Um, y- you are the higher creation in this universe. You're a human being, right? You can do anything. Yeah. So, so that's what I was reading something where they said that there are footprints on the moon. I mean, don't say that a thing is difficult. You know, you can walk a certain path, and when something is to me, if there is something difficult, I will chase it till it um, is flowering. Uh, we need to inculcate that skill,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm saying. This must be my blessing because I have never looked at anybody for strength. It just came naturally. It just came naturally, and I haven't sat down and cried or wondered what am I going to do. I was always on the move, and it's been easy. And pain is very empowering. Pain gives you it polishes your strength and how you and makes you a better person. Yeah. And what I need is, I need love from my friends. And I get that in plenty. I'm very grateful for that. I get that in plenty.
Which means it's very, very important for parents to socialize.
Yes, very important. I push these mothers because they think their lives are finished and dwindling and all that. And in an Indian society, Indian family setup, we have people who very easily run you down. तुम्हारे लिए बच्चा ऐसा हुआ, nobody will want their child to be like तुम्हारे लिए ये हुआ. So you need to get out of that. You need to meet other mothers who have special children, and you need to chill together. You need to go to a salon, you need to go to parties, you need to dance, you need to work, you need to do everything.
You need to take care of your own happiness.
Yes, you need to take care of your own happiness.
But having said that, is there a lot of social stigma around autism for parents?
Yes, there is, and that has been created. Um, like I was telling you, somebody will ask you, स्कूल नहीं जाता है, बात नहीं करता है. So, they feel ashamed. But stigma in the Indian society, mostly the mothers are blamed for having special children.
Mhm.
And it is the mothers most of the time who have to give up their careers.
It's very apparent that parents, children suffering from autism, they they fall prey to depression. They encounter a lot of depression. How necessary for them it is to address the depression and then find a solution to it. And if there is a solution, where are the solutions?
I would say that when there is a new diagnosis, or when a child, there is a special child, not only with autism, with any neurodiverse condition, the first thing is to harness yourself. The first thing is to realize, but at that point, you need somebody to tell you that this has been my journey as well. And the first thing you should do is not break, because the last thing that your child needs is stress. They feel everything. Everything a parent feels, they transfer to their child.
Mhm.
So the last thing a child needs
Mhm.
is to feel stress, to feel a vibe where he's not or she is not welcome, to feel sadness. uh, the child needs to feel more happiness, more jubilance than the rest of than a mainstream child. And depression is something that is not even an option. You cannot go there.
Mhm.
Because depression will lead to sickness, and you will get sick. You will not take care of yourself. You will not be agile enough, or quick enough in your mind to take decisions, or
Mhm.
be good at your workplace. So the mantra is to take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you won't be able to do anything. And to open your eyes and ears to research,
Mhm.
to open your eyes and ears to experiences of uh, other people who have made your journey. Samit, there is something I have realized that I am a part of many groups where parents come together, parents with special children, mothers especially.
Mhm.
They develop a killer sense of a humor. When you have coped with adversity, you develop a super sense of humor. You're able to make fun of what the child is doing.
Mhm.
Like yesterday we went for coffee, two of us, like me and another friend, with her child and with my child. and we were going to have coffee and French fries and burgers and all that. But we landed up having so much, and we made a whooping bill, and we laughed at it. Said we thought we were going to spend $2,000, and look at how much we've spent, and these people will keep on eating. And you have to laugh at everything. You just can't feel sad about something that is going against your wishes. It becomes a habit.
So your son loves to eat?
He loves to eat. I would say he understands food. It's a very primitive need, because with this chakra that you have here,
Mm-hmm.
he's not using it for speech. So the action that you make with your mouth
Mm-hmm.
is half fulfilled. So to step that up, there is a need for filling that need with more and more food. And he is a very keen, I would say, a taster. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the food is not tasty, he will not have it.
Oh.
If it's not warm,
वो
he
मुंह
will
फेर
not have
लेता
it.
है.
He'll take the plate and give it back to you.
uh, Taking that plate and giving back to you. Uh, this is the right time that I should ask you about your cafe.
Ah, thank you. Yes.
It's such a one of a kind of a cafe, and hats off to your dream.
Yeah.
And I think it's rare of a kind and one
Yeah.
of a kind.
Yeah.
Uh, Tell us something about that cafe from the name itself, and then
Thank you, Samit. I wanted this. Um, so it's called the PEX Cafe.
PEGS.
PECS.
PECS.
Yeah. So it stands for Picture Exchange Communication System. So PEX is a tool that we use for communication among people who are non-verbal. In autism, we use PEX as a tool to communicate, not
Okay.
here, all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah, all over the world. It's an old concept, PEX. So I'll tell you how PEX is. If I could not speak, then I would need to have a diary with me. And in that diary would be pictures of me going home,
Mm-hmm.
pictures of me eating, pictures of
Mm-hmm.
me being tired, pictures of
Okay.
me wanting to sleep. So whenever, whatever need of mine is, I will show you that picture. I have to be trained for that. To train my thought with a picture representation. And those with autism are visually very empowered,
Very okay.
much more than you and me. Okay. And sometimes you can use even letters, supposing hungry. So if they're not able to read HUNGRY, hungry,
Mm-hmm.
they see it as a design. So they perceive this as a design to show you when they're hungry. So they associate hunger with this word. It's not that they are reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So so PEX is that. Now PEX has been used for communication and all over the world, helping them to communicate. If he wants to go home, he'll show you go home card, whatever. I thought, see, Zen Foundation is there. I wanted attention for Zen Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
The only weapon I have is creativity. So I wanted to use creativity to get attention. In the future, we'll monetize creativity to earn for the foundation. So I thought, why not use PEX
Mm-hmm.
in the space of commerce? Adults with autism, they are trying all over the world to place them in areas of work where they can earn. The society is trying to take a responsibility to
Mm-hmm.
take care of them, their career or whatever. But not everyone with autism can understand the concept of money, that they are in a career, but they can be trained to do something. Now here we also have another variable, which is in the Indian context, like in other countries you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Supposing somebody is very good, a child who is growing up is showing you signs that they very often don't like dust and all that, they
Mm-hmm.
keep cleaning it,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to fold everything and they want to straighten everything. It's a kind of compulsive disorder. uh, it might also be a tactile disorder, wanting to feel surfaces. So if you see that in somebody, and if you train the child to fold clothes properly, to
Mhm.
iron.
Mhm.
That person as an adult can grow up and do laundry for 4 5 people
Mhm.
and very beautifully learn how to pack it and keep it.
Mhm.
But here we might say, ye dhobi ka kam karega? You know, we don't have dignity of labor in India.
उसको एम्पावर होना भी नहीं कहते.
Yeah. So as a parent, I might think, मेरा बेटा धोबी का काम करेगा, इस्त्री करेगा, but dignity of labor we don't have. Or nowadays, of course, we are open to, men cooking, men as chefs, and men are better chefs than women, right? So men as chefs and, serving in a cafe and all that. And, there are many girls with autism and boys with autism who can be trained in salons. There are friends of mine who have salons. I'm diverted from PEX, but it's attached in salons where they want to help. They want to employ somebody with autism to say maybe use a laser comb or maybe just wipe or something. Uh, but parents, this community of parents with special children is a very difficult community. I'm a part of it. And they will say, पार्लर में काम करेगा मेरा बच्चा, ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए. So, we don't have the dignity of labor. But now PEX, the PEX cafe is actually Summit with zero modesty, I will tell you. It is the first PEX cafe in the world. Nobody has come up with a PEX cafe. And I just wanted to begin it. I have begun it in the foundation. It's a 8-seater cafe where I have adults with autism coming twice a week. I have a friend called Shweta who has a bakery called Gailey's Bakery. She comes and teaches them to make muffin and all. And while they are mixing, and that smell is invigorating, and they know it is something that they're going to eat. They're going to, and they do it with a lot of interest. I can show you pictures. They do it with a lot of interest, and they're making cookies. They're making walnut muffins, and they're making pound cake. I have taught them to make sandwiches, but everything we give verbal instruction, and we put pictures. Take cap, take apron, take the knife, take the weighing scale, put the bowl, everything given in pictures, and then they do it. Now, in Apex Cafe, we have a picture driven menu. We haven't inaugurated it, we will start just any day. So, picture driven menu. In the menu, you have pockets. In each pocket, you will have pictures. Say red tea, green tea,
Okay.
chicken sandwich, veg sandwich, assorted plate, Maggie. So we have a 7 point menu. So you come to the cafe, and a person comes to you, and you will also be trained with 5 set of cards, like what you must show. I'm happy, well done, yes, I can wait, those cards. And they also have a set of cards. So you take out your black tea and you take out chicken sandwich, 2 pictures, and you give it to him or her. That person goes. Over there in the kitchen, there is a caregiver with each child, 2 or 3 of them together in the kitchen. Now, we try to avoid use of gas and stove and all. So raw material is ready, everything is labeled, pictures are given. So they're making a sandwich, take bread, cut bread. Now, supposing while making the sandwich and everything, something drops. So we tell that person to take one card and give it to you. I will take 10 more minutes. And then you show a card to him like it's okay. So makes the sandwich and the tea comes and serves you. But that person, while coming to you, might feel that their reasoning is not socially conditioned, and it is they're just like how they are. So they might think that, let me just have a bite of the sandwich and give I bite the sandwich and give it to you. Or they might feel that, let me sit with this guy and eat what he's eating. So, but it is a huge awareness exercise for those who come to the cafe.
I think ये दोनों तरफ से बहुत empowering है.
Yes.
एक तो it is for children with
Yes.
autism
Yes.
that they get to learn a lot of things,
Yeah.
become independent,
Yeah.
and it is also giving a lot of message to
Yeah.
the community
Yeah.
to welcome them,
Yeah.
be a part of them, and feel that inclusiveness.
Yeah.
And when I say inclusiveness, you are very inclusive with your approach. How do you do it?
I'll tell you at this point, Samit. Thank God you brought up this inclusive thing. Um, I will tell you that when there are two people, say, serving you and serving somebody else,
Mhm.
they know that they've been asked for this and they have been trained. Now they will serve and whatever. They might not have the concept of money, but they will give you a bill and you will give them and you will say thank you and all that. And whoever is working in the cafe, these two autistic adults are working. At the end of the day, mm, oh, cannot keep them for long hours. So I'll open it for Saturday, Sunday. They will work for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours.
Mhm.
So for those 2, 3 hours, supposing I give them $500, they might not understand concept of money, but at this point, what happens is that feeling of worth, that your child is worthy and your child is capable of training and is working, is now employed. That feeling you're giving to the parents. So when you touch a child or adult with autism, you touch the parents as well. So it is not only taking care of you, take care of the child, you take care of the parents 100%. Okay. And inclusive because the society is learning that there are people with who are different, and they need to be, because they have been born into our lives, they need to be a part of the social fabric. Many companies are trying to employ people with disability. Yes, autism is a disability, but it is clubbed under disability. There are disability cafes like Arpan in Bombay, and in Singapore, you have a cafe for the blind. You go there, you're in complete darkness. You're given braille menus and all that. And you come out, you have been in 1 hour of blindness or 2 hours of blindness. You realize what it is like to not see the world. And when you're not able to see, you suddenly your hearing and your tactile sensation, everything is stepping up. The
Stepping up.
one
Yes.
sense that is not working. So, when you include autism with disability, which in my mind is not correct, because you do have cafes for the disabled where wheelchair users, people who are blind, people who are deaf and dumb, people who have calipers, people with cerebral palsy to a certain extent are being trained, and they are serving you, they're making their things, the things that you want to eat. But their brains are working like yours and mine. In autism, their brains are not working like yours and mine. And to make it more complicated, every single person with autism in the world has different symptoms. So no two people are the same. अ, तुम्हें बुखार है, हमें बुखार है, इनको बुखार है, डॉक्टर को पता है कि क्या मेडिसिन देना है. In autism, no two people have the same symptoms. Okay. So when you are addressing 3, 4 people and training 3, 4 people in a cafe to serve, you understand at what level you are molding yourself every minute. You're giving 4 of them instructions at the same time, but it has to be um, served differently to them. Your
Correct.
responses will be different, and
Mhm. किसी को ज्यादा, किसी को कम.
yeah, yeah. So there is a boy who mixes all the ingredients of the cake. He will not do it without leaking. Huh? So that bowl is made for the kids. Okay. And when you have made muffins and you have to put these choco chips on top of muffins, they will put three and eat 10. Okay. So all that is very sweet. But yes, we need people to come to the cafe, and there will be instructions, talk in low tone or whatever. And, you know, if you want water, you have to show the water card and all that. So it's a picture exchange world.
It's a pictorial
Yeah.
exchange.
Yeah. And Pex Cafe, people have to understand and come to it. There is not too much marketing. I can talk about it and I can post about it, but it is people to feel interested and come forward and see it. And I believe it's going to be huge in the next 10 years.
I can sense that it's not easy to come up with a cafe
No,
of that sort. So, when are you planning to launch it?
in the next 2 weeks,
Oh,
there are two adults who are going to be there to make, working on Saturday and Sunday for 2 hours.
mhm.
We will take appointments for 8 people who will be there, because too much will give them anxiety. And Three adults will be working there for 2 hours. More than that, they will get bored and they will just take off their aprons and walk away. So then, so we will begin like that slowly. It's not about how much of revenue we are earning. It is about beginning a exercise which is very novel.
ये एक सवाल आ रहा है अभी कि आपको क्या सपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट से मिल सकता है वो अलग बात है, लेकिन किस तरह का सपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट को देना चाहिए
हाँ,
वो इम्पोर्टेंट है।
yes, वो important है. Yeah, I have asked the government for help. I have asked the government for land because that is something very expensive and will not be able to use the resources of Zen Foundation to buy land. Then it'll be wiped out. So I need somebody. I need the government to give me a small patch of land. Don't need more than 1 acre. Okay, there. And another thing is, um, I am hopeful for this, but there are many groups that work for uh, the blind population, the deaf and dumb, TB, AIDS, cancer, where they show numbers. The government needs numbers. No, so
करेक्ट।
many people are affected, so we need to give so much money. So I have also been asked for numbers. Uh, आपके पास 100 बच्चे हैं, कितना लोग काम करते हैं? So only I'm working. There's a caretaker and there is somebody who comes to do jaru pocha. So 3 people. And there is nobody on admission roll call, but I help a lot of people, children, their parents, adults, their parents. I can't show you numbers at all. So there is no number.
There is no number, but then I think last time when we met and you came up with some very alarming stats.
Yeah. So I'm coming to that. So I am not able to show numbers.
Mhm.
This is such a difficult sector that it is only when I have a setup. It will not be difficult to raise the place, the concrete. It will not be difficult. It will be difficult, I don't know, to get land if the government does not understand. But I'm hopeful because I have been in conversation. And what will be difficult is to get caregivers because you need to employ caregivers on the basis of a little bit of education and compassion and energy. It will not depend on the degrees they have managed to get for themselves. And if you are autistic, I need two caregivers. So 1:2. If I have 5 inmates, I will have 10 caregivers. So when I have 20 inmates, I have 40 caregivers. So, the equation, the dynamics of this residential setup is going to be very different from any other thing. Uh,
And they have to be equally trained also.
yeah, they have to be trained. And also, I cannot afford a high turnover, getting lured by a better salary. So I have to pay them good salaries. So corporates have to come forward to take care of their salaries. And this I'm talking about a residential setup. And what was the other thing that you were asking me? I said I'm coming to that.
I was talking about you shared stats,
Yeah.
numbers.
Right,
If
right.
government is asking you for numbers,
Yeah.
the way autism is coming up.
Yeah. So, Samit, one is uh, we don't have proper data for autism because we have data for blind people, for people with physical handicap or AIDS or whatever. We don't have proper data for autism because families are in denial. They don't want to say there is a person with autism in their family. So we do not have data. But data tells us, the global data, Asian data tells us that the year where I was born, when I was born, 1971, there was occurrence of one child in 10,000 children with autism. Okay.
Okay.
And in the last 5 years, one in 210. Last year, one in 38. This year, it is one in 26. That is the global data. In Asia, it is one in 18.
Oh my God.
So, occurrence has been much more. Diagnosis facilities are also better. So, that discrepancy is there.
What is the main reason behind such?
I would think that it's a lot of I think our genes mutate because our environment is changed. It's become very synthetic. It is not as natural as it used to be.
Mhm.
And we don't eat the kind of food we we think we are eating. We used to have fruits and vegetables as children, which tasted and smelled different. They taste and smell different now. I
Mhm.
mean, you get cauliflower throughout the year. It's a seasonal vegetable. You're supposed to
Correct.
get it only. So, and cauliflowers don't come with green stem anymore. They don't smell like they used to smell when it used to be cooked in our kitchens when we were
Correct.
a child. Apples, apples, oh my God, apples are. Uh, round apples. Apples are not supposed to be round in shape. And you know how they get round shaped apples in Japan? They import aluminium from India. They put the aluminium around the trunk of the tree, which is meeting the floor, and the sunlight reflects on the aluminium and hits the apple at the bottom. So it becomes the same size as the apple on top, which is getting direct sunlight. So
Oh,
Japanese are people are perfectionists, so they want round apples. We don't get apples here from Japan, but why around the rest of the country are you getting apples which are round? You are doing so much to it.
is it adulteration of?
Completely. So whatever we eat, whatever we are eating, sugar, of course, many people don't have sugar, but sugar was half full of paraffin and wax and glass, and so
So
everything
that
that
is
we
that
eat
is
and drink
creating.
mutates. Yeah,
Yeah,
your genes get mutated year after year. So I am from a batch of women who have had children. My next batch or generation of women who bear children will be more challenged, so on and so forth.
it's very alarming.
Alarming. This is a changed world. uh, Even if you don't have a child with autism, you, there are going to be different features, brain wise, physically, in the years to come. It is very sad. We have tampered with nature, and we have to bear the consequences.
It's very alarming.
Yeah.
The facts are very alarming.
Yeah.
The figures are very alarming. 1 in 18.
Asia 1 in 18. Very large, very huge. And I fear a day, 10 years from now, where 40% of your population will be neurodiverse. You better have a facility or infrastructure for them. Then
To
you have to
address.
take your steps now. Yeah. I believe Orissa has always led the way. I think we should do better than other states.
Mhm.
I mean, I am concerned about Orissa because I live here.
How are you so strong mentally? If I
It's a
can ask you.
blessing. It's a blessing. I'm telling you. It's a blessing. This is one blessing. It must be a blessing because, yeah, I think this is what it's like. There are so many factors. I live in a lot of love and respect, and it holds me up. Yeah, I don't feel sad at any time. I don't feel sad, hurt, anger. These things I think I have, and even after losing Zen, whatever else my soul had to, or my spirit had to gain to grow, I think I managed. The skill of letting go um, is a huge skill.
How important it is to let go for people who are listening to you.
See, death is such a finality. You don't have a choice, and you grieve in it for a while, but ultimately, um, it puts you on good stead. But letting go of experiences and letting go of situations is very difficult. I would say, as a human being, uh, learn from an experience. There is no need to let go. You're a human being. You can't let go, or you cannot. not have expectations. Don't have expectations from them. I am a human being. I will have an expectation from you. I am here in your studio. I'm talking to you. I expect you to behave in a certain way. And of course, I will have expectation. If I love that man and he does not love me back, I will expect. If I do for my mother has brought me up, she expects me to look after her when she's not well. So, it is right, natural to expect. Why will you tamper with this basic primitive instinct that you have? It's like feeling hungry. And letting go of situations, I don't think there is any need to let go, but every experience that you have, um, you should learn.
You have $1 million smile as well. And you're an artist and you're a theater artist.
Not like that. I like it. I like it. I indulge in it whenever I can.
No, it goes back. Uh, I mean, if I go back to those years where you were not married, you were a theater artist. You said.
Yeah, I indulged in a lot of theater, and my training was in filmmaking, and I have made many documentaries with a team. I worked for a company called Audiovisual Arts when the satellite channels were just coming up. So we were making a lot of um, news capsules and fiction material for ZTV and um, documentaries. We were making selling it to BBC Channel 4, and of course, all my experience was in Calcutta, and that time I would take training in theater at Padatik and do a lot of workshops and loved it. Did a few professional plays, loved it, and then I switched
So you used
from.
to act,
I used to act.
and how was acting to you? कैसा लगता था act करके? Because this theater, I'm asking you, because it was live. There was no retakes.
So it's very challenging. Theater. Why I like theater is uh, there is no second chance and there is no interference. In front of a camera, which I have also done. Um, Everything depends on the whole team that is working, the sounds, and the person who's leading the team might not like something in which you have put in your best, so it tampers with your flow and mood. But theater is you're a lot more responsible, and it's intense.
So आपका artist होना, has that helped you in some way or the other to understand your son better in a better way? Do you feel that? Because being an artist, you are blessed with superior instincts of imagination, visualization.
I wish it was as beautiful as this. I mean, it is not right if I call myself a theater art. I mean, because I'm not a master at it, but I love it, and I practice it every day of my life because I am naturally a very animated person when I'm talking. So it's easy for me to be on stage, and public speaking is very free. I don't blink an eyelid when I have to address people, how many ever people, and I find my words. And it helps me in play therapy when I have special children with them. I'm dancing around with them, singing around, pushing them around, and behaving like this animal, that animal. Or it's a lovely feeling. But more than a theater person, I am actually very productive with making things with my hands, um, uh, props, uh, art, mm, teaching. I'm good with my hands.
So whenever a fresh challenge comes to you, life is full of challenges. Every day in, day out, we come across challenges. And
Oh,
so I'm
good
asking, whenever
question.
whenever a fresh challenge comes to you, what is that first reaction?
I have realized this with my life that um, you should not resist anything, whatever is coming to you, happiness, hate. dislike, disrespect, appreciation. Don't resist. When you resist, you will suffer, body and mind. So do not resist. Just let it come to you, cross you, pierce you, balm you, calm you, kill you, but let it pass you. Don't resist it. Just, let it, just let flow with it. Resisting is a lot of pain.
Are you spiritual?
Yeah, I'm spiritual.
And what is spirituality for you?
The I am very much into nature, energies.
Nature is your form of God.
Nature is completely. Nature is God.
Nature is God. So for you, nature is God. So you derive your energy from nature.
Yeah, I derive my energy from nature, and I derive my energy from love and respect that I get from people without doing anything for them.
In this journey, I'm sure you need a lot of money, a lot of financial help. Have you thought about it? How much from where?
With Zen Foundation,
With Zen Foundation, with X Cafe, um, and for the entire community of on behalf of entire community of parents in the process of empowering children with autism.
Samit, I'm aware that I need a lot of money now. Some of my friends are very wealthy, fortunately, and they have seen my journey and known me since we were very young. And each of them have promised to help, as in, help me to make the infrastructure. Okay, that will be done. And the if the government gives land, I'll be very happy. But eventually, I would acquire it somehow, because this project has to take off, and a lot of money will be needed. I'm expecting corporates to um, come ahead and help, and there has to be a sustainable model which we are trying to design. Like, supposing his child with autism, there will come a time when the parent cannot take care of the child anymore, who has become an adult, because the parents themselves have aged. So at that point, there is Zen Foundation, and you leave your child to the care of Zen Foundation. At that point, sorry, you would need to pay some money to take care of your child. That has to be there. Also, because autism does not look at strata or social status. um, there might be a king whose child has autism. There might be a driver whose child has autism. uh, so both cannot pay the same thing. So if somebody is unable to pay but has to be allowed the facility to stay there,
There has to be an help.
yeah, so it will largely be a charitable organization. Money will come. I cannot stress my present thinking about the future. I know it will come. Every action is result oriented. I refuse to believe otherwise.
How do you think government can make a striking difference and in what magnitude और किस तरह से करना चाहिए? क्या हम बैंगलोर में जो है फैसिलिटीज क्या हम इधर रेप्लिकेट कर सकते हैं?
No, Samit, no. I don't know about the central government. I will talk about the government that we have here in Orissa. So our government is aware of autism, is aware of neurodiversity. Even though the government treats autism under the umbrella of disability, the government has made sensory parks for those who have sensory needs to go. And so it's a big step. The government is moving forward. They're having disability day and everything, but um, the treatment of disability is not the same as the treatment of mainstream events. The treatment of events with disability is very poorly organized. That is sad. Now, um, the government, I'm sure, will help, as no matter how much money, no matter how much physical resources you have, you need leaders in this field. I will be able to lead my community. And you need, like, there is somebody who's leading the cause for tuberculosis, who is leading the cause for cancer. I would be able to lead autism. No matter how much of money you have, if you don't have a leader, that money will not be utilized to suit the needs of the community.
Why is autism called as a spectrum disorder?
So, autism, see, I'll tell you what autism means. Auto means self,
Mm-hmm.
autism means involved with self.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's called autism. Uh, Spectrum because there is a huge line, say a string, where you might be placed on the mild category or moderate category or severe category. So no two people are the same. It is a spectrum disorder. It can be
Okay.
this side or that side disorder. Now it is called autism. I'm not sure whether it is only indulgence in oneself. I don't know whether that is true, but as of now, it is called autism. And because autistic people, they cannot socialize, they don't know how to. They're in their own world. That's why they cannot communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Imagination is also impaired. But somebody who is say engaged in a gadget
Mm-hmm.
the whole time playing video games, the attention is shifted from self to
A gadget.
something else, right?
Yeah.
To a gadget. And or how can you say that person has attention deficit? He's attending to something.
Correct.
So we cannot make textbook diagnosis all the time.
Right.
Autism spectrum disorder, it is as it is called today. You know, there is something else called, not many people know about it. It is called the Angelman's syndrome.
Okay.
Angelman syndrome, of course, by Dr. Angelman. Angelman syndrome is a syndrome like autism, which is extremely similar.
I see.
Yeah. So there is diagnosis and all as well. Not here, America, Israel. Israel, at this point, I would like to say, is the most advanced when it comes to any medical research for anything in the
Correct.
world. Okay. And we're destroying it systematically. And autism is definitely a neurological disorder. And you can have autism by birth, and you can have acquired autism also with vaccine poisoning.
Mm.
And so, yeah,
Do we
lot.
have therapies?
So there are a lot of therapies also. The main ones, as soon as you know your child is diagnosed with autism, um, I would advise the parents to go to 3 4 places for diagnosis, and also be in conversation with parents who have uh, made this journey in autism for a longer time than them. And a diagnosis needs a team of people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a doctor who's a metabolic expert, a psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
a speech therapist, an occupational therapist. Uh, so you need 4 5 members on the team. You need to have an allergy profile done of a certain blood work, urine, and stool done, because whatever you are getting from the uh, cognitive, intellectual
Mm-hmm.
side, whatever you're
Mm-hmm.
putting down, it has to be um, collaborated with the findings in your body.
Mm.
You have to go about the diagnosis of autism in a very systematic way. It is not fair to label somebody autistic and kill the minds of the parents. Yeah. It comes with a lot of challenges as the child is growing up. There are many new challenges that will be thrown to the face of the parents. It is tough. Me, as a parent of a 20-year-old boy, uh, it is tough. But not to lose your bearings.
How people like me, like people in my studio, can contribute or help?
Thank you for asking. Like, now, if you are in a public place, say a shopping mall, and um, there is person I know, he's 23 years old. He sees a say chips packet and he holds his ears like that because he's imagining if somebody holds the chips packet, it will make the sound and he can't bear it. So chips packet he sees, balloon देखता है वो ऐसे कर देता है, ठीक है? Now when somebody is behaving like this, everybody else around him in a mall is going to look like that. At that point, when you stare, what is going to happen? The mother is going to get anxious and she's going to behave roughly with the child. The child is surprised. Why is she behaving roughly with me? I mean, what have I done? You know? And the child will throw a tantrum, or will lie down on the floor, or will start kicking, or throwing everything that is there on the rack. Why has it happened? Because you are not aware of what to do in a situation like that. So, what have you done? You have stared. See the chain of incidents that have happened because of your staring. So, the first thing that we as mainstream people can do is when we see neurodivergent behavior, we should not stare.
हमें उतना ध्यान नहीं देना चाहिए.
ना ऐसा करके देख के nothing. So there are places where I have gone and given them sensory tools to calm them down. Say those squeezy balls you see, yellow, those they give them sensory relief straight away. Or a little, we have a of meltdown and all is very close to each other. Smell will distract the brain immediately. So a smell box, this I have given. Anytime you see something like that, go and give it to the person who is behaving like that, and they will calm down after a while. So these awareness exercises are necessary to do. When I had done in the middle of COVID, I had taken a huge super bike rally out in Chennai and in Bangalore and in Pune, and it was so well received. The exercise has been so powerful that they are doing it now every year, going to some setup where there are autistic children and giving them the gifts and dancing with them and spending time with them. So I've told them, for them to have uh, be associated with the normal world other than their own family, just go from time to time once in 3 months and just chill with them. So they take them out on bike rides and all. So it's become a stone that has gathered a lot of snowballed.
I would want to understand from you what woman empowerment is for you.
Women empowerment for me is a term which does not have too much water. Um, there is Nari Shakti.
Mhm.
There is so much of, that nourishing quality in women. It cannot be replicated. It
Mhm.
is only when there is something which is ever powerful
Mhm.
and you cannot rise to that level that you try to depreciate it. That has happened with women.
Mhm.
They are multitaskers. I'm not a feminist, but I'm just saying a man who is in touch with his feminine side, just like a woman has her manly side also, a man who is in touch with his feminine side becomes a very attractive man for a woman, becomes a man with a lot of kindness.
Mhm.
Kindness is a big turn on for women, which most men don't have. Kind gentleness and women empowerment about jobs. And I mean, women are everywhere. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, women are designed to have children. They are, I mean, there cannot be any discussion on women empowerment. It's a term which has facilitated many programs all over the world, but to me it has no meaning. The status of women uh, in nature is far superior to anything else. And that is why men in the animal kingdom, males, are better looking than female, because qualities rest with the female breed. And women empowerment, though, we should be ashamed to talk about it um, in India, because there are rapes happening every day. So how far are you taking women empowerment? You're taking it to your urban surrounding. How dare you? How dare you not reach your rural, your rural side before you talk about women empowerment? You have big events, you have celebrities coming, everything, and you are empowering women by giving them seed money to start business and all. Do you know how many women artisans are there in rural India? What have you done for them? So to me, women empowerment has no meaning.
Do you think women empowerment is about giving that respect to women?
I would rather say that. I would rather agree with that. Respect the women. Let us not talk about women in the workforce. Let us not talk about women at home and whatever. Respect women because they carry bodies which are uh, very attractive to the men, and sinfully attractive. So that is the one place where women face disadvantage, because we are not physically as strong as men are. um, I can handle one man who's coming to rape me. I cannot handle three, four. If I was a man, I might have been able to. I do not have the physical strength like you. And respect women, because even unlettered women, those women who have not been to school and have not had formal education, have strength that are not taught in textbooks, have that nourishing quality, have the power of sacrifice, and can adjust to any work that they're thrown into without formal schooling, without being lettered.
Wonderfully said. Thank you. On that note, we come to the end of this podcast, and I'm so
Thank you
glad
so
to have
much.
you here.
I'm so glad you gave a lot of space to for me to say whatever I wanted. You asked me questions which I wanted to answer. Thank you so much, Sam.
I wanted to ask you questions which gives direction to a lot of people who are looking for directions, looking for suggestions, advices, but cannot ask. I think you are a healer as well,
Oh,
and please consider me. I can, if I can be of any help, just to be there,
it'll be an
to be a
honor.
part of your journey. I will
Yes.
feel very glad.
Arambala.
Thank you for being here, and from my team here, from
Thank you very much.
Jyoti, Alok, and
Alok,
Avinash.
Jyoti,
I
Avinash. Thank you very much.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.